The road to the SFL Championship starts today, and you are looking live at the Stockyards, home to the 7-5 Fort Worth Toros as they welcome the 7-5 Charleston Predators in SFL wildcard action. And good evening, everyone. I'm Cameron Duty, and I'm excited to be with my partner, Rochelle Colston. Rochelle, Charleston comes into this game filled with weapons, and they're hoping to make a deep run into the postseason and watch just their second postseason appearance in 4 seasons. However, Fort Worth, on the other hand, is coming into today's game on a 2-game losing streak, but the Toros have had Charleston's number in years past, winning 4 of 5 meetings. A victory today against an old foe could be a great launching pad for a playoff run. What have you got, my friend?
Good evening, Cameron. Good evening, everyone. These two teams have met in the playoffs before. Fort Worth beat Charleston 35-6 at home during the season 21 quarterfinals. Statistically, both teams match up on paper, and I think the game will come down to whoever had a better defensive plan. Fort Worth will have to keep wide receiver Doug Spelling and halfbacks Ian Francis and Nick Hogan in check, while Charleston will have to keep wide receiver Stephen Hacker and halfback Jay-Z Bacon in check. Get your snacks and buckle up, because this should be a great one.
I couldn't have said it better myself. You're not going to go anywhere for the next hour and a half or so. The kickoff is underway. Through the end zone it goes, and Fort Worth will start off. We'll say hello to their starting lineup immediately here. Quarterback Marcus Dunhill, the halfback Jay-Z Bacon, the fullback Aaron Alexander, the wide receiving core of Henry McGee, Cade Stevens, and Stephen Hacker, the 2 tight ends of Robert Garrett Jr. and James Jennings, the tackle is Emilio Panda, the 2 guards Gordo Enorme and Frank Burks. First play from scrimmage. Here we go, and it's a good run right up the middle with fullback Aaron Alexander for an 8-yard gain. Second down.
Nice play on first down. Pick up 8 yards with the fullback. I mean, Fort Worth only has one contracted halfback, so they'll use their fullback a lot.
Second and 2, as you see Fort Worth, the home team, wearing the traditional blue and gold. Again, a give up the middle. That is a nice pickup by another fullback, Kyle Johnson, for a first down.
Oh, the backup comes in.
Early on in this game, Fort Worth already going deep into their roster. 2 receivers up to the top of the screen, as you can see, to the quarterback Dunhill's right. But on the ground they go for the 3rd straight play, and nothing doing there. Back to the line of scrimmage as Alexander doesn't even gain a yard. Let's look at this Charleston defense. Defensive ends Dateria Darshington and Dan Dash. Defensive tackles Anthony Ellison, John Nevels, and Forrest Dalton. The linebacker core of Jack Brown, Ben Bowman, and Khalil Thomas. The cornerbacks Brandon Ewing, Leo Morris, Ryan Cook. The safeties Matt Ryan, Sam Blotner, Jacob Clear, and John Stamango, and making a big defensive play immediately. We just called his name out. The cornerback Ryan Cook with the interception, and that couldn't have went worse for Fort Worth.
Yeah, Marcus Dunhill either has a great game or he throws a lot of interceptions, and hope that's not the case today.
And look at the concentration there by Cook. Just tips the ball to begin with, and then he makes sure to land it beautifully into his hands, if you will.
That's your own tip throw.
That's exactly right. And with that being said, that is Cook's 2nd interception of the season. 1st and 10 now for Charleston. Back to throw is Lakeman, and what a catch right off the bat. Doug Britton getting into the fold.
And he's the #1 target on this team, and he's really, really good at catching the ball. Now he just made a great catch there, a great diving catch.
Oh, he did indeed. Take a look at the Charleston starting lineup. Iman Kopik, you will see him in at quarterback, as well as Lakeman. The halfbacks Ian Francis and Nick Hoagland. The fullback Brad Taylor Wright. The wide receiving core of Doug Spelling, Nick Twice, Azora Lunar, and Doug Britton. And we'll stop there for this first down play just past the 25-yard line, approaching the red zone territory here. And it's a delayed handoff up the middle. Nick Hoagland, a 9-yard gain. We'll continue with the starting lineup. The tight ends, Leon Sandcastle, Xavier Solomon, and Breddington James. The 2 tackles, DeBrickashaw Molyneux and Perrin Ibarra. The 2 guards, Leroy James and Finley James. And at center, Jamarcus Lamarcus, the 17.
That was a mouthful.
It was. I'm glad I got through it. 2nd and 1, running left side, nothing there. Completely leveled and swallowed up by Sonny Sky.
Great defensive play there for sure.
We'll introduce you to that Fort Worth defense in just a little bit. Big 3rd and 3 here. Charleston wanting to capitalize on the turnover that they were granted. To throw to the end zone, and they are able to capitalize. Touchdown. Wonderful pass, wonderful reception to the tight end, Xavier Solomon, and they go up first.
Charleston's come out here firing all cylinders. What a great route. Just found his tight end in the middle of traffic and just threw the perfect pass.
Beautiful throw indeed, as you said right there by Lakeman, and that will be just his 6th touchdown pass of the season. We know that they're a very run-heavy team as well. We see that quite a bit. Now on to attempt the extra point. Brad Breckett, and the kick is good.
Yeah, I mean, Cameron, when you have 2 halfbacks, 2 fullbacks, and 3 tight ends, you're expected to see a lot of runs.
Indeed, indeed. The roster speaks for itself, correct?
Correct.
So a fast 2+ minutes here, approaching 3 minutes in this game, and a lot has already happened. Charleston jumping out with the early lead. Now Fort Worth going to have to respond. This is fielded and returned coming out of the end zone, and still on his feet. And with that, the Marcus Dunhill's interception woes 5 interceptions in the last 5 quarters. Rochelle, let's expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, either has a great game or he gets interception happy, and we hope that's not the case.
Indeed. The return was by Ben Stone, bringing it out to the 24-yard line, which is where Fort Worth will once again set up shop.
I'm looking for a wide receiver return. It's actually a defensive player. Wow.
1st down and 10, as we said, on the 24-yard line, and it is going to be a run right side to J.Z. Bacon. And he is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, brought down by loss by the Hall of Famer Jack Brown.
It's important for Fort Worth to get J.Z. Bacon going.
As we said, loss of 1 on 1st down, so 2nd and 11. Dunhill to throw, pressure coming, so he drops it off screen underneath. And a nice pickup by the wide receiver, Henry McGee. It's going to make it a more manageable 3rd and 3.
Yeah, I think that little spin move there practically hurt me, stopped his forward progress.
Big play early in this game for Fort Worth. They had the interception on the first series. They need to convert here, and it's going to be close. Alexander pushing forward, but is driven back thanks to 2 Charleston defenders, led that time by Ben Bowman. 4th and inches, and Fort Worth is challenging the spot of the ball. That's going to bring up our first Retroid challenge. So let's take a Retroid look at the play. Get your console to play SFL on the go at GoRetroid.com.
Watching it live, I didn't think he got it.
Neither did I. Although that angle does make it a little more interesting.
It does. Oh, I don't know.
He could have. It's going to be close. I mean, the thinnest of margins. We'll see what the ruling on the field is.
Oh, it stands.
The play does stand. And so Fort Worth is charged at a timeout. That could be important down the stretch. 4th and inches. And, of course,
we didn't get the 1st down, but okay.
Yeah.
They respotted the ball.
They did respot the ball. Look at how close that is right there, Rochelle.
And they're going to punt. I think I'd go for it here.
Guess the fact is they didn't want to give up that good field position. So instead, as we said, it is a punt and a return. Ooh. Coming the other way is Doug Britton with a head of steam, running over Fort Worth defenders just as if he's a bull in a china shop.
What great starting field position for Charleston.
Doug Britton, as we know, he's kind of on the farewell tour, right?
Tight end.
Yeah, Britton expected to retire at the end of this season, as was mentioned in the pregame show as well. So wanting to put on a good showing here.
He will be missed for sure.
Indeed he will. Right now, though, Charleston, everything is going their way. 2 receivers right there. As you see, one to the left, one to the right. The throw incomplete, intended for Doug Spelling, and it's 2nd and 10. Let's introduce you to this Fort Worth defense. The defensive ends, Jeff Duffy, and Jerry DeGond. The defensive tackle, Luther Gond, and then the linebacking corps, E.K. Vinson, Sonny Sky, Dexter Jackson. The cornerbacks are Tavius Gordon and Adam Leach and Aiden Davis, and at safety, it's Ben Stone and Delaney Nash. 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. 2nd down. Play clock down to 5. Lakeman to throw. Plenty of time going deep, and he finds his man, Doug Spelling, at the 30-yard line.
What a great play by Doug Spelling to come down with that ball. I mean, the offensive line stayed home, just kept Lakeman protected the whole entire time. It was amazing.
As you said, the key there, plenty of time for Lakeman to roll out, rolls to his right, looks downfield, incredible blocking. Let's mention that. And Lakeman, 2 of 3 early in this game, already with a touchdown pass.
And Charleston does have a full O-line on this field.
Kopech in under center that time, and he hands it off to Ian Francis for a gain of 4. And that's something we'll see with this lineup here, Rochelle. They're sneaky, this Charleston team, interacting and intertwining Lakeman and Kopech.
It definitely is a little confusing. We have 2 quarterbacks on the field.
Always a challenge for the folks up here in the booth. Kopech again under center, toss play left side, nothing there. He gets dropped immediately by Jeff Duffy behind the line, and it's 3rd and 7.
Great play by the defense.
Lakeman again now back in this game and under center for this 3rd down play. As you can see, 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen there to the right of Lakeman. Fake handoff, rolling out, pressure coming. Oh, distracted there. He has just enough time to find Britton. And a 1st and goal. This drive will stay alive.
That time the player, they get back in the backfield. Went for Lakeman, got distracted by somebody else on the field and just let Lakeman deliver the ball. And what a great catch by number 84 there, Doug Britton.
Britton, as we said, he is wanting to have a day. These playoff games, nothing is promised, obviously. It's win and go home. He wants a good showing. This whole team does. Toss play, right side, bottled up. Not too much there, and we got 2nd and goal. Nash with the tackle.
And that time he was met by linebacker E.K. Vinson, Delaney Nash.
On 2nd down. We see movement. And now we see Solomon going in motion. Roll out, that is Kopech in. He throws back across his body. It's caught. Touchdown in the end zone. As we said, that was the man who was in motion, Xavier Solomon. Charleston now up 2 scores.
That should have been a big clue for the defense there. Whoever's in motion usually gets the ball, and sure enough, he just turned around, bumps up right in front of the end zone, and great catch. Great pass.
So Kopech with a touchdown pass, as well as John Lakeman in this game. And Charleston, as we said, jumping out to the early lead. Fort Worth still struggling to get their offense going. The extra point by Brickett is good.
This has really quieted the home crowd down a lot here.
Yeah, 7-play, 55-yard drive. Rochelle, we're kind of surprised to see this, huh?
I am. Actually, I thought it'd be a more defensive game, but so far it's been a pretty offensive game on the Charleston side.
Booted out of the end zone once more. 1st and 10, Fort Worth. Now, let's not forget this game. It's certainly not out of reach. We've got a long way to go. But for Fort Worth, they desperately need to find their offensive rhythm, their footing here, if you will.
Yeah, Marcus Dunhill needs to settle in and feel comfortable in the pocket.
Dunhill throwing short again, just off rhythm, off sequence right now. Looking for wide receiver Stephen Hacker, and just couldn't find his man.
Yeah, Garrett Jr. was in the area too. I'm not really sure what happened there. Did he get bumped off his route, maybe?
Perhaps, but right now, as we can see, evidence to what's playing out on the football field, no rhythm at the moment for these Toros. Struggling out of the gate. Of course, we know Fort Worth came in here kind of limping with some of the losses they had towards the end of the regular season. Dunhill to throw, intercepted. No. Can you believe it? Again, that is Thomas with the interception that time, and the turnover bug once again bites Fort Worth. What is going on out here, Rochelle?
I don't know, but it's the second time in the first half of the game you've given Charleston the ball deep in your own territory.
Well, not only that, but as you said, that's the key word, deep in their own territory. Sometimes you can get away with an INT if it's on the other side of the field. It's almost like a long punt, if you will, but not on this side of the field when Charleston is already starting at Fort Worth's 30. That time the run game going nowhere. They will say forward progress is a gain of 1, but right now Fort Worth is just scratching their head.
Yeah, keep an eye on number 56, E.K. Benson. He's a menace out there.
And this defense knows it's up to them right now to keep their team in this game. They need a big turnover. They also, if at all possible, maybe can force a field goal attempt. Legman to throw. Wow. One-hand grab. Doug Britton still up on his feet inside the 10-yard line. And an absolutely beautiful play that I hope we get a chance to see again on the replay screen.
I hope so, too, because that was unbelievable.
We're going to get our wish. Look at that.
And that was contested. I mean, the defender was right there. He just strong-armed that ball.
And then the ability, the knowledge, the foresight to be able to stay in bounds. Doug Britton came to play today. How many times I've already said that in this game? Putting on a clean
9-yard line.
First and goal, Lakeman with the handoff back to the line of scrimmage. So stopped that time by Fort Worth. I believe that was Gond on the tackle.
They're doing a good job stopping the run game right now, but that passing game, secondary needs to wake up, and they have a decent secondary back there for Fort Worth.
They need the big men up front as well, like Jerry D. Gond, who comes into the season with 10 sacks. Comes into this postseason, I should say, with 10 sacks on the season. Need to get him. Need to get him going. And there we go. On cue. Just as it was said, Jerry D. Gond with his 11th sack of the season. I promise I haven't seen into the future.
You must have ESP or something.
I've got YouTube. That's it. Third and goal, and that, as we said, that could be, Rochelle, that one moment that maybe could sustain this drive here for this Fort Worth defense to maybe get off the field. They needed something to cling to. We'll see if they can get off the field on third down. Lakeman throwing deep. One-handed goal! Britton almost had another candidate for nice hands catch of the day, but that one dropped in the end zone. It's fourth down.
I mean, that had been an awesome catch. I mean, he threw his body out there. He just couldn't hang on with the one-handed catch.
That was Ben Stone who did just enough to knock that football loose.
Selling for a field goal here. Hey, if you're Fort Worth, bend don't break. You give it up points, but only 3.
Rickett on to attempt the field goal. And just over the top of the bar. Whew, too close for comfort indeed for these Charleston fans, but they tack on 3 to their lead.
Barely over.
My goodness, sweating bullets in here. Charleston leading 17-0 with 1:27 remaining in this first quarter. A surprise, I think, to most of us. At least how this has been so one-sided up to this point. Fort Worth, though, having a chance to claw their way back in as this one is kneeled down in the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20.
I mean, it's not panic time. It's only the first quarter. You still have 3 quarters of football to play. But Fort Worth needs to wake up. Their offense needs to wake up.
Marcus Dunhill needing to settle down. On 1st and 10. As we said, from the 20. Keeping it on the ground with Bacon. And that is something that they really need to continue to utilize here. Yes, passing is important. It's key. It's critical. But you know, you said it, they're built on this running attack.
They like Bacon. They use Bacon a lot, and I think that's only what his first or second carry of the game.
I believe it's second. 5-yard gain on first down. Now 2nd and 5, and just completely bottled up, as you can see behind the line. That is the halfback, Dane, goes nowhere, and just like that, 3rd down.
The Tyrion Jarson, I just met him at the line, and no gain.
Inside of the final minute of this first quarter, now Dunhill rolling out, trying to find somebody downfield. There we go, signs of life. That's Cade Stevens with his first reception of the night, and I believe that's the first down of the game for Fort Worth.
And nice play by Dunhill. He's finally calmed down a little bit, rolled out, found his receiver in route. In motion.
And we can't underestimate just how little things like that are so important to, as we said, a rhythm and a fluidity that this team needs right here.
I think they need to mix up their keep running the ball, pass when you have to, establish a run game.
One final play in this first quarter, and it's a screen out of the backfield, and just getting confused, really, McGee, and it's not his fault, as we said. It was the cornerbacks there able to meet him at the line. That'll go for a loss, and that brings us to the end of the first quarter. Charleston, yes, you see right, leading Fort Worth 17-0.
Charleston came in as an underdog, Cameron.
They did, indeed. Cameron Duty here with Rochelle Colston. We want to thank Ron Haynes and Michaela Forker in the stats truck, and Cameron Irvine at SFL headquarters. And as you said, right now, the underdog with the lead by 17 total yards. Fort Worth 34 in that first quarter. 2 interceptions. Dunhill throwing deep again to Stevens, and that's a great rebound after that screen pass that went for a loss.
It's definitely another first down for Fort Worth. They're actually moving the ball. I think Dunhill's feeling a little bit more comfortable after the 2 interceptions.
The rollout is something they're liking to do this evening with Dunhill. Maybe that's to give him a little more confidence, get him out of the pocket, a little more time to look downfield.
It's working so far.
First time of the day that Fort Worth is in enemy territory, crossing midfield here. Dunhill with the screen pass. Again, that's to McGee out of the backfield. Positive yards, which is a big improvement from the last 2 screens that we have seen go his way.
If you look at the rosters, Charleston has a lot of offensive weapons, and Fort Worth has a lot of defensive weapons. So it's like,
It makes for a heck of a matchup. It really does. And more stats to throw out there with you, just to give you a backstory. These 2 teams, you said, they've met in the playoff just one time previously. Now Dunhill with a quarterback keeper, nice. Still on his feet. Thought about sliding, stays up and gets close to the 30. Great play.
Now Dunhill is known for running the ball when he has to. He's pretty elusive. Look at the great blocking by number 44 there. Robert Gary Jr.
Yeah, great blocking out front, just as you mentioned. Correct me if I'm wrong, too, but that pocket seems a little more sustained. That the offensive line picking up the defenders a lot easier than what it was in that first quarter.
But they're bringing it. Or they're showing that they're bringing it.
Indeed. Again, the pocket holds, a screen pass to McGee. Finally starting to work wonders for this Fort Worth team. McGee feeling a little bit of confidence here in this second quarter. It's 1st and 10.
And we just seen the screen pass go to halfbacks. It's unusual for the team to go to a wide receiver out of the backfield.
It is indeed, and something that obviously you can tell they are devoted to, if you will, in this game to this point. And right now they're able to keep going back to it, back to the well, and it's finally starting to pay off for them.
Yeah, they're in the red zone.
Two receivers to the top of the screen. As you can see now, you see motion. That's Stephen Hacker coming to the bottom of the screen to the right of Marcus Dunhill. Play clock down to 2. To the air, they will go to the end zone. It's a touchdown, a much-needed touchdown. And guess who? Cade Stevens, who's had some big catches already in this game.
It's kind of been the Kate Stevens show and Henry McGee, you know, with a little route from the backfield, but great drive by Fort Worth, marching down the field and scoring 7 points, getting themselves back into this game.
A good response, just as you mentioned. We talked about, oh, what a catch. That angle really showed it all right there. Something we couldn't see from the side angle was how he had to leap, basically, over that defender, knowing there would be head-on collision. Amelia Rose on to attempt the extra point. Good snap, good hold. The kick is good. Rochelle, we've got a ball game.
We do, and I think Fort Worth's offense is finally feeling some kind of rhythm here, finally.
The lead is down to 10. Now the key is for this Fort Worth defense to find a way to stop this Charleston offense. But let's also say this. Charleston really hasn't even had to start a drive on their side of the field. It seems like every time we've seen them with the football, it's been off of a turnover and they've been in Fort Worth territory. This is going to be one of the rare times tonight that Charleston will have to start on their side of the field at the 20.
I think they started on their own 45 once after a punt. But other than that, they've had the ball, you know, on Fort Worth territory.
This is the farthest back that Charleston has started this entire night. They go with the ground to Nick Hoagland, who gets a gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
You know, Fort Worth's doing a great job of controlling the halfbacks at this point.
Second and 7 for the Predators. Kopech in under center, toss play left side, and nobody is home. Well, that is except for big number 54, Dexter Jackson, who laid out the halfback.
Yeah, this Fort Worth linebacking core of Vincent, Sky, and Jackson, they're really, really good, especially Vincent on the open field tackle. So,
and an important 3rd and 8 here for both sides of the football. Charleston wanting to keep the drive alive. Fort Worth wanting to get their second straight stop. Legman to throw deep, complete. Guess who? Doug Britton across the midfield stripe for the first down.
And that play was well defended by Ben Stone. Doug Britton's just, I don't know what's happening when they're tonight, but he's just making these tremendous catches.
Doug Britton must have ate his Wheaties before he got on the field. This is incredible stuff. So Charleston able to extend the drive. That is something that it's a heartbreaker for the Fort Worth defense, as they almost had them off the field. That run play, though, goes nowhere. Stood up at the line by Delaney Nash. 2nd and 9 now coming up.
That's the 9th run attempt, and they've only gotten 14 yards. So they're doing a great job, you know, defense controlling the run game.
The passing game, though, that is another story.
Yes.
Lakeman has already amassed over 120 yards, 6 of 8 right now with a touchdown. This is Kopech to throw underneath. And he finds Solomon for a short gain and a 3rd down play on the way.
In your 3rd and 3 here, your playbook is wide open. I think we're going to see a pass because the run game really hasn't been established yet.
Kopech will stay in. One receiver on either side of the line. 2 men in the backfield in the I formation. Kopech to throw. The pass is complete. The drive is extended again, looking in the direction of Solomon, and he gets the 1st down.
You put your big tight end in the middle of the field, short yardage, you pick it up. I mean, big target, easy throw, great route. They had a crossing route there. We flooded the middle of the field with receivers.
And for Xavier Solomon, that's 4 receptions, 4 targets, over 30 yards in receptions thus far. Averaging about 9 yards per catch. Back in is John Lakeman, going for the home run ball, and there again is Solomon, this time making a leaping grab for the 1st down.
And what do you do about that? I mean, you put a big man in the middle of the field all by himself in between the linebackers and the secondary.
If I may be so bold to say, Rochelle, it feels as if there's a mismatch between these big tight ends and these defensive backs here at Fort Worth at the moment.
Definitely.
Fort Worth was able to find their way to the end zone, but they can't find a way to stop this offense at the moment of Charleston. Again, the run game still not really going anywhere, but that really hasn't been the problem yet. It's a passing game that they have not been able to find a remedy for.
I mean, they have like Adam Leach and Aiden Davis and Ben Stone to Lady Nash back there. Get this run game for Charleston having a hard day.
That carry goes nowhere. So again, that's Ian Francis on the carry, but also in on that Delaney Nash with a very important tackle, because that brings up a 3rd and 10 here. Fast-moving second quarter. Already down to 3:50 remaining in this first half. Lakeman is in. Fake handoff. Going to the end zone. Tipped. Batted away. Incomplete. And Fort Worth again forces the 4th down.
That one just bounced off of Ben Stone.
Good coverage that time. I mean, and no interference, no penalties you speak of, just good coverage by Fort Worth, able to deflect that one away from the intended target, and a 35-yard attempt now coming on as Brechet once again on to attempt to add 3 points to this lead. This kick right down the middle, good, and the lead is extended back to 13 for Charleston.
You're Fort Worth, you did a great job. You came out and you made them settle for 3 points. Your offense has got to do it again, though. You have to come out and score some more points.
Folks, we want to remind you, if you haven't had a chance to yet, remember, like and smash that button there. Don't just hit the like button with a gentle click. No, we want you to smash that button and let everybody know, hey, I'm watching the SFL on a Saturday night. Playoff football. Good return here going by McGee. Gets out close to the 30.
I thought he had some daylight there for a minute. They can break another tackle and be gone.
So did I. He was close. We're actually going to get an opportunity to look at it again here and see just how close he did get to breaking that one free right there.
Yep.
But for Fort Worth now, the plan of attack simply to march back down the field, try to draw within 1 score. If they can get to the end zone, that would be huge for this Toros team, who, as we said, comes in favored in this game. At the moment, though, they're playing from behind. Dunhill will throw. The pass is complete to Stevens once more. Busy man out there. If you got Doug Britton on Charleston's side, you got Kate Stevens for Fort Worth.
And surprisingly enough, I mean, Hackers only had 2 targets.
It is a surprise. That probably, I guess you could say, would even be a testament to just how well Charleston's been able to defend downfield. If I'm not mistaken, one of those looks was towards the vicinity of Hacker when the early interception occurred.
Yes.
McGee in motion. Dunhill to throw in the middle of the field. And there was McGee. We've seen him go in motion, and then he cuts back towards the middle of the field, which is where Dunhill's able to find him and place a laser on him.
And Henry McGee so far has had, his 5th target, his 4th reception. Stevens also has 4 receptions. So Hackers is really well defended tonight.
Dunhill now getting warm, 8 of 10 over his previous 10 attempts. You see, we've got the big interception, though, up there. But he's rebounded nicely.
Yes.
Closing in on 2 minutes.
Ooh.
This throw out of the backfield, and they read that like a book. They'd been getting away with it the last couple of times they tried to go to that screen out of the backfield, but nothing to do that time. And it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, huge hit by number 26, Brandon Ewing. There was no chance for him to even hold on to that ball at all.
Intended for J.Z. Bacon. See what they can cook up on 2nd down. They're showing pressure, Charleston, that is, and they do. And, oh, my goodness, it's like deja vu going that time for McGee, although another pass right around the line of scrimmage, and it's deflected and incomplete.
I'm coming to figure out this offense. If number 14's in the backfield, it's going to be a swing pass to him. I think Charleston figured that out also.
Rochelle, if it's getting predictable to us, what does that mean for the players on the field? Just like you said, they're starting to read it too. Dunhill hit as he throws, and I believe he's actually, Hacker's going to get a reception out of that as he dove to the ground. And it's going to be 4th and short, however.
Yeah, and once again, Fort Worth.
Want to punt it away.
Yeah, I think so. Oh.
But they will get the 2-minute warning. Time to think about it. This first half is flying by. We hope you're enjoying this game. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. So Fort Worth will punt just outside of field goal range for Amelia Rose. So she'll have to punt this one away in hopes of pinning Charleston deep. And we're going to check the spot to see if that actually crossed over into the end zone, and it did. That was a really good coffin attempt right there by Rose, but just bouncing into the end zone for a touchback.
Now you're making Charleston go the whole field to score this time.
Another quick glance at the team stats. You can see Fort Worth able to build on their total yards thus far this second quarter, making it a little more even. Still, however, Charleston with the 13-point lead. The handoff going nowhere. And I love the physicality of the front four here of Fort Worth. And that, again, is Jerry Gond, or actually Luther Gond, rather.
Yes.
On
the Gond brothers, I guess.
Yeah, the Gond boys. Gond. James Gond. No, Jerry's Gond. Lakeman to throw.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. And how do you deflate a defense? You go right back on the attack in the way that Lakeman was able to do and find his wide receiver, Doug Spelling, over the middle.
Lakeman is on fire, and his receivers are helping him.
He really is. And whether it be Kopech or whether it be Lakeman, they've had a fantastic first half. What more can we say? We are within a minute here of the locker rooms for halftime. Keeping it on the ground to Sutherland. Nothing going there. Or that's Brad Taylor Wright, excuse me. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, but yeah, they're stopping Charleston's run game. You gotta find a way to stop their passing game.
3 receivers to the top. Clock continuing to run. Spelling in motion. Keep it on the ground. A good pickup on 2nd down by Hoagland. We'll see just how aggressive Charleston would like to be here.
I think you'll see a pass here. Why not? It's been working all night.
They could easily take it into the half, but looks like they're going to choose to not. Charleston quarterbacks in the first half. Kopech, a touchdown as well as Lakeman. And that's what happens when you go back to pass late in the second half on 3rd down. Now, this will end the first half, but a good defensive play again by Luther Gond, his 2nd sack.
That's what we're saying the last name Gond a lot tonight.
Feels that way.
He just came in untouched, basically.
What an exclamation point that the Fort Worth defense puts on this first half. Charleston now still in the lead as we go into halftime, but things are tightening up. We welcome you into the SFL halftime report. Camera duty here with Rochelle Colston. Rochelle, give us your first half analysis, and what do you think needs to change for this second half?
Well, like, yeah, it changed in the second quarter. I think Dunhill settled down a little bit. I mean, Fort Worth's got to find an answer to Charleston's passing game.
That being the big point indeed. We've talked in the past about the passing game of Charleston and just how good that they are, and you're seeing it on display. Now, what about the lack of rushing that you're seeing out of Fort Worth? You're surprised?
I am surprised. I mean, you have your franchise player of J.C. Bacon not really getting that many touches.
Well, folks, let's take a quick halftime break, and we'll be right back. This break's presented to you by Brakes GPT.
We just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet. Shout out to all our Swifties. Travis Kelce. This is a Giants Lawrence Taylor.
Patrick Mahomes.
Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco.
We have a Drew Brees
Is that an O.J. Simpson jersey?
And Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Brady! Tom Brady!
We invite you to break into the world of sports memorabilia collecting with Breaks GPT, featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and so much more. Breaks GPT offers you the shot at winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community of collectors on our Breaks GPT Facebook page and lock in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner on our website, breaksgpt.com. We welcome you back for the second half. Britton now with the carry coming out of the end zone and getting it back out to the 33-yard line. So for both of these teams, Rochelle, we just hit the reset button and 2 more quarters to play.
Yeah, I'm looking at the rushing yards for both teams are 19 for Charleston and 24 for Fort Worth. Fort Worth's got to get their run game going.
Indeed, they do. That's the big key. We talked about it. Folks, also interesting stats. Both of these teams, their playoff record, 4 wins to 5 losses. Both of these teams. And also, both of these teams, typically we don't see them lose in the opening round of their playoff scenario, if you will. Sometimes it's wild card, sometimes it's divisional, first round. However, these two teams usually don't go out immediately. Somebody's going to go home tonight. Oakland with the carry, gain of 3.
And so Charleston's still sticking with their, trying to establish a run game, keep the defenses honest.
And that's a gain of 3, as we mentioned. So 2nd and 7. This Fort Worth defense really has improved up on the opening couple of segments or frames, if you will, of this game. Another ground carry by Ian Francis that goes nowhere. Stonewalling the running back, and it's going to bring up a very important 3rd and 5.
Yeah, 3rd and 5. You're expecting the pass. Forward's gotta stop it right here.
Kopech in, throwing deep. The pass complete to Doug Spelling, and that is a perfect example of what's been the problem for Fort Worth this entire game. They cannot get off the field.
And Doug Spelling just ran a route middle of the field and basically was wide open.
It's incredible to me just how well Kopech and Lakeman have both been able to play in this game. So far, lights out, no mistakes, and the rotation between the 2 quarterbacks has been flawless. Lakeman now back, settles under center. He hands it off, and nothing there. And that's, again, going to be number 41, Delaney Nash, to record another tackle.
And Delaney Nash has come up from a strong safety position to get these open field tackles on these halfbacks.
So important for Fort Worth here to be able to keep Charleston out of scoring territory. That throw complete over the middle to Spelling. That's going to put them pretty close to field goal range, and a 3rd and 3 coming up.
I mean, Charleston's not really doing anything fancy. They're just, giving what the defense, taking what the defense gives them.
In the passing game right now, this defensive unit in the passing game for Fort Worth has struggled to keep up. Charleston toss play left side, and there's a stop, an important stop for them that they need to make a ball game of this, and a huge tackle by Dexter Jackson, bringing up 4th and 4.
And then you see a punt here, which is a win for Fort Worth at this point in the game.
Folks, we will welcome Eric Blueberry to the game. Someone that Charleston hasn't had to see very much of thus far. On to attempt the punt, and that's a high punt, not a lot of distance. Pressure got there to him, and he didn't get the best punt of his career off by no means. That's 1st and 10 for Fort Worth with pretty decent field position to start with. Could have been a coffin kick, so that's a plus.
Yeah, definitely. I could have rolled into the end zone, but they're right at the 20 anyway.
That little bit of special teams pressure you see there, I think, made all the difference between getting pinned deep and starting at the 20. 1st and 10 for Fort Worth, their first series of the 2nd half. Dunhill to throw out of the backfield again. This time McGee able to make something out of it, close to the 1st down with a gain of 8.
When they run that play, we've seen it several times, it does work about 80% of the time if the cornerbacks are playing back.
I formation on 2nd and 2. Dunhill gives to Bacon, and he is going to be short. It's going to be close, 3rd and inches, and you would just expect this Fort Worth team to line it up and run it down their throat.
I would expect that, but hey, I'm tired. I'm not doing a great job of guessing what's going to happen.
They do keep it on the ground with Bacon.
Ooh.
His best run of the night, breaking free across the 50, and that's what we've been asking for this entire game out of Fort Worth.
Yeah, so see, we're trying to get Bacon started here, which is probably a positive thing for Fort Worth at this point. And what a great run.
Past midfield, the first down, important that Fort Worth able to stay on the field, not be denied. That was a 24-yard run. Back to the ground game they go. Now just stuck behind the line there was big number 28 on the carry. Dane in once more. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
2nd and 10. Dunhill looks like he settled down here.
Rolling out now. We've seen this a lot of Dunhill. Throwing back across his body in the double coverage. He was going for Hacker, and while the pass made it to his hands, it was Morris able to jar it loose. Leo Morris, the 6'3", 220-pound man coming over from Portland.
Yeah, poor Hacker had a defender in front of him, a defender in back of him. And just got hit at the right moment.
Really, you can't ask too much of a player when he's blanketed in the manner with which Stephen Hacker was. Dunhill, shotgun formation on 3rd down. It's not picked up well at all, and he's going to go down behind the line of scrimmage. Deterian Darshington with the sack.
I think, Charleston's showing a lot of pressure here, getting it Dunhill. Missed block.
And he was blocked. Actually, 2 men in the vicinity. Couldn't keep Darshington away. 4th and 18, Rochelle.
So your defense comes up huge. And giving the ball right back to Charleston. Your defense is getting very tired out there on the field.
A promising 24-yard run by Bacon. They weren't able to capitalize off of it, and a fair catch called for by Charleston at the 20-yard line. Folks, we want to remind you that this 23rd edition of the SFL playoffs continue tomorrow with a pair of doubleheaders at both 6:30 and 9 p.m. Eastern as Atlanta meets Arizona in the desert and Baltimore hosts Lexington. Catch all the action here on the SFL YouTube all postseason long, and we just encourage you to not change that channel. Lakeman to throw. Oh, almost intercepted. Jackson had it in his hands. He all but caught it. That could have been going the other way for 6 had he been able to reel that one in.
That would have gone the other way for 6. Wow.
And while the deflection's great, that could have been a game changer if that had been intercepted. Charleston able to breathe a sigh of relief here. They will send a man in motion. That's Nick Twice. We'll see if they think twice about going to Nick Twice. And no, it's going to be a handoff, and fighting hard is Nick Hoagland. I was going to say for Charleston in this game, whoever has went in motion, in that case Nick Twice, they've ended up looking their direction. We've seen it with Spelling, and we've seen it with Britton all day long. Instead, they go run there.
Yeah, I mean, a decent run, too. I mean, they had him behind the line of scrimmage. He just managed to get 5 yards somehow.
Lakeman back in, pressure coming behind him. He steps up to run. He slides, fumble. Ball is loose. The turnover Fort Worth needed. Going the other way and still on his feet. E.K. Vinson to the 5. Touchdown, Fort Worth. They're right back in it.
That was huge. I mean, E.K. Vinson coming up and picking up the ball and just running straight to the end zone. What a game changer this is.
We'll get a chance to look at the replay and let's see if we can pinpoint who knocked it loose. Matter of fact, looked like it was 2 of them who was in there on it. We know Sunny Sky. It looked like Jerry DeGon was in the vicinity. And then Vinson picks it up, scoops it up, and runs it in.
And once he was going, you weren't bringing him down.
He had a head of steam. And
well,
while
things have just turned upside down.
took the words right out of my mouth. I didn't even know what to say after that. That was a shocking play with Lakeman there, who had been absolutely perfect this entire night, as Rose takes the extra point, and it is good. Both those quarterbacks, as a matter of fact, Kopech and Lakeman, have been flawless, but sliding to the turf, dropping the football, and Fort Worth's defense again comes up with a big play. That kick is nailed in the end zone by Britton. And for Charleston here, now, obviously still a 6-point lead, but for the moment, you start to feel like this Fort Worth defense starting to breathe down your neck a little bit.
Yeah, they avoided the interception that should have gone for a pick six, and instead they had a fumble recovery for 6 points.
That's why you watch the SFL, folks. You never know what's going to happen. Keep your eye on Britton, moving to the bottom of the screen here.
Davis moved with him.
Lakeman, the carry. And again, nothing doing for Nick Hoagland. And I'm surprised at just how much Charleston has decided to go run heavy this third quarter.
They slowed the game down a lot for sure.
Really not to their advantage at this point either. They were doing a lot better when it was high flying. Pressure coming, obliterated. Getting into the backfield is Sonny Sky, and Lakeman hits the turf.
And these linebackers seem to be getting home now. They're finding holes and they're causing havoc in the backfield.
Oh, look at that move inside. Just took number 60 for a ride, basically, there on that offensive line, and not able. Let's see if we can get a number on that. That was DeBrickashaw Molyneux, the tackle, who got faked out, and Sky came in for the hit. Now to throw deep, batted, incomplete, 4th and 14. And what has happened the last couple of minutes in this game for Charleston?
And Ben Stone could have had another pick six going the other way. Wow.
You talk about daylight and dark for this Charleston team. Doesn't look the same from the first half. Blueberry to punt, and he gets a good kickoff here, and it will be fielded by McGee, who gets out to the Fort Worth 44-yard line. And for the first time tonight, Rochelle, we can say Fort Worth here has a chance to take the lead.
And they actually have very good field position for the first time tonight.
Incredible how this thing changed for Fort Worth. The defense kept chipping away until the offense could figure out something to do. Charleston coming out with a head of steam, being predatory, no pun intended, but now they were ball hawks that first half of the game. The tide has turned. We'll see who can take advantage. Screen play.
Nice.
Beautiful spin move. You called it, Rochelle, by McGee, and it's a 1st and 10.
Now, if you're Charleston, you should know if he's in the backfield, we're going to that screen pass.
Fort Worth field position tonight. This is their first drive starting outside of their own 30, so that should tell you something.
Wow, he just faked number 54 out completely.
Beautiful play. Inside of 3 minutes remaining in this third quarter. We haven't seen many clock stoppages in this game either.
And no penalties either.
Clean game. Good playoff football. We're glad you're here with us. Hacker goes in motion. Play clock down to 3. Dunhill now with the pressure in his face. Tipped! Almost intercepted. We've seen it once tonight. And that was Ben Bowman. Just couldn't keep his hands on it. Falls incomplete.
And that time, Marcus Dunhill felt the pressure. Just tried to get rid of the ball just a little bit too soon and made an errant pass.
Well, you got to believe that he's seen deja vu all over again with that one. I formation now for Fort Worth on 2nd and 10. Back to the air they go. Throwing the pass complete to Hacker. And a nice reception indeed to get the first down.
Yeah, you have big target of Hacker in the middle of the field. Throwing the ball. Hope, telling your receiver you better catch it.
There you go. I mean, we've talked about Hacker, and he's had a quiet night up to this point, but now starting to get him involved just a little bit in the game. Another 1st down and 10. Fort Worth making their way to the 31-yard line of Charleston. Dunhill Gets rid of it. Screen pass again to McGee. Spin move close to the first down. An 8-yard gain. And for Dunhill, he just got rid of that when he had pressure coming from the weak side.
Yeah, that screen pass is working for him this drive. The second time we've seen it on this drive alone.
McGee having a very solid evening here. In his first season with Fort Worth, played with Atlanta and was an all-star last season. Look at J.C. Bacon with the leap, keeping the play alive and getting the first down for the Toros.
I think Fort Worth figured something out over halftime. Their offense looks totally different now.
It was so important. We talked about how important it was for them to be able to get a score at the end of the first half. They were able to do that. And that, as you said, they had a very productive locker room meeting. As you can tell, they've come back out. They look like an entirely different team. Dunhill to throw, pressure coming over the middle of the pass.
Ooh,
incomplete.
dangerous.
Yeah, a dangerous play, and Hacker was the intended target.
That time, two defenders were on Hacker, and Dunhill's trying to force it in.
Clock stops at 1:15 remaining in this third. Outside of goal line territory for the moment. Dunhill to the end zone. Overshot his man. He was looking for Hacker again. Way too far in front of him. Incomplete and a big third down here.
Well, the good news is he did overthrow it where no one else could catch it. It wasn't an interception.
Indeed. Going for Hacker. We didn't have him, so he just let that one fly out of the back of the end zone. And now we see a man in motion.
That's Garrett Jr.
The tight end. Out wide on the left side, and Dunhill to throw to the end zone. Off the hands of said receiver, Robert Garrett Jr., the tight end, and it's 4th and 10.
So you keep that field goal here, you put yourself within, 3 points of Charleston. They've come a long way in the second half.
Well, they sure have. And we've got ourselves an interesting ball game. Zamelia Rose on to attempt the 30-yard field goal. Snap, the hold looks good, and so is this kick. It's a 3-point game, and Fort Worth continues to chip away.
These are getting very interesting now.
The truth. The SFL chat here on YouTube, everybody thinking the same thing we are. What a ball game we have tonight as we are within a minute 5 of closing out this third quarter. Cameron Duty here with Rochelle Colston, Michaela Foraker, and Ron Haynes doing a fantastic job on the stats truck. Cameron Irvine at SFL headquarters. And now Britton with the return. Doug Britton, someone who we talked about heavily in that first half. We haven't heard much of him since.
And Charleston has changed their offense after half. It's trying to run the ball more, but their leads like dwindling down. So let's see if we have a passing game come back out.
Yeah, well, we see them come out with guns blazing here.
Your guess is as good
You're
as
afraid
mine.
to say. Rochelle says, let's just let this play out on the football field, shall we? Ball on the 34-yard line of Charleston. They will start again to the ground. They go with Hoagland, who gets a good carry on first down. 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5 coming up.
Yeah, 5 yards is a nice gain on first down. You get 5 yards to carry. You get first downs every time.
Indeed. One of the best carries of this second half as well for Charleston. Kopech in to throw, incomplete. Intended for Solomon, and that was good coverage. I believe it was E.K. Vincent again who was in pursuit. $5 super chat here by Sultan LSCG says, rumor has it that Ray got an A+ in public speaking. Hashtag new moon.
Okay, Sully.
The throw to Lakeman, or from Lakeman, complete again to Britton, and there he is. We said we hadn't heard much from him, and he comes up clutch.
Let's talk about Doug Britton, okay? 4 receptions, 83 yards, 7 targets.
A great play, again, by a great player who we have seen tonight.
He's averaging 20.8 yards per touch.
That's incredible. Final play of this third quarter. It's a handoff. And a gain of 2. And we're down to the fourth quarter, folks. 3 down, 1 to go. Who's going to win this wild card matchup? It's anybody's game. Charleston leads by 3. You're watching the SFL on YouTube.
The of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
We welcome you back in. One more quarter to play. Charleston with the lead and driving down the field. This Fort Worth defense, though, doing a nice job that previous quarter to stifle the offensive attack. Lakeman to throw the pass off the hands of the intended receiver. He had an opportunity of that one, and it falls incomplete, 3rd and 8.
And that time he just saw the defender making a play on the receiver.
Kopech's first incomplete pass this drive. Lakeman in on 3rd and 8. 3 receivers to the top. Crowd coming to their feet, coming alive for the home team, the Fort Worth Toros. Lakeman to throw, standing in there all day, looks downfield, incomplete. And this Fort Worth defense, that was Davis with the deflection, they have tightened up.
And not like the O-line didn't give him all day to throw the ball. He could have made a sandwich back there and probably ordered Uber Eats.
You mentioned Eats. Now look, Blueberry is on to attempt the punt. Now that makes me want some blueberries from Uber Eats. 4th and 8 coming up. Don't talk about food around me, Rochelle. We know what happens. Fair catch called for at the 14-yard line. You know, I have something to tell you. You know, talk about, you know, just how well you do behind the mic. You know something else you do well, right?
What's that?
Colston karaoke. Possibly coming to 2025, the 25th anniversary SFL convention atop the Hyatt Regency in Baltimore. We could have Colston karaoke. I will continue to work on that, folks. Dunhill throwing deep, the pass intended for Hacker, and going to make a diving interception was number 46, Sam Blotner, and he almost got there.
Yeah, if you go to the convention, Cameron, I will sing.
Oh, now that right there is an opportunity that I cannot pass up. By the way, that reminds me to mention, if you haven't had a chance to yet, definitely reserve your room now, at the special group rate at simfl.net. Get on that if you haven't already. Like I said, Colston karaoke. Cam and Rochelle, what more could you want? 2nd and 10 now coming up for Fort Worth. Dunhill throwing out of the backfield. Again, that works to perfection, and stepping out of bounds is McGee. And how frustrated is this Charleston defense starting to get at that play?
I mean, like I said before, when you see him line in the backfield, I don't know why they don't see it. It's pretty clear to me.
And they still can't stop it. I think that's the point, and you're exactly right, Rochelle. They see it. There's still nothing they can do to stop it. Not yet, anyway. And nobody in the backfield here for Dunhill. Interesting formation. Going deep, the pass complete to Hacker. Closing in on midfield, and another first down by Fort Worth, who are turning up the steam.
That time, I maybe just forgot about Hacker. He was just in the middle of the field by himself.
It looks that way, and interesting you mentioned that because we talked about how hard it's been to get open for Hacker. Dunhill just had faith that he was going to get there.
We saw the 2 wide receivers cross. Maybe confused the defense just a little bit. They didn't know who to cover at that point.
As you can see, the sweet spot for Dunhill today has primarily been the middle of the field. Handoffs, J.Z. Bacon with good running lanes and will not go down. He gets close to the first on first down. It's a 9-yard gain and then some, just inches short here.
That means just running over people. You saw a picture of the number 77 guard Frank Burks there.
You know, I love that one-on-one matchup between him and Blotner there. I mean, they were just fighting. I mean, just grinding, trying to keep the other from progressing. Great struggle here in the trenches on this late fourth quarter action here. On the ground they go once more. That is a handoff to Aaron Alexander, the fullback.
If we need a couple of yards, you know, you're third and a yard, third and 2 yards, you put your big fullback in. Just tell them to run it up the middle.
Fort Worth crowd anxiously looking on as the home team trying to keep this drive alive. Dunhill will throw, going deep. The pass in and out of the hands of the intended target, and that's because he was delivered a shot. John Stamango with a stinging hit.
Yep, he was pretty much open in the field, and he just went from behind him and he laid this huge hit, not jarred the ball loose.
Intended for Stevens there. 2nd and 10 now coming up. You see McGee moving in motion. Keep an eye on that. A rollout by Dunhill. Pressure coming. Unloads, and nobody is home on 2nd down. And intended for McGee, but good coverage downfield.
McGee almost got murdered out there.
He really did. This has been some hard-hitting football. Now, this is an important play, Rochelle. 3rd and 10 here. If they can't get the first down, can they get in field goal range? How do you play this? Dunhill rolling out. Doesn't want to lose any yardage. Throws deep. Intended for, I believe that was number 44 that he's going for, Robert Garrett Jr., and it falls incomplete. And they're going to be outside of field goal range.
Yeah, so another punt here. Plenty of time left in the game, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Amelia Rose on to attempt the punt. Are you still surprised, though, that you didn't see him just drop it down underneath to try to pick up some yards for Rose to attempt a field goal?
I think they had to get the first down for the field goal anyway, so.
Okay, so you think they would have had the first to get in range for Rose. Okay, good point indeed. That fair catch called for, and Charleston will start deep in their own territory, the 14-yard line. So here we go. Charleston. Kopech in with the delayed handoff. And that goes for 4 yards, as a matter of fact. Hoagland, 2nd and 6.
I'm looking at those halfbacks in the backfield. They look huge. I mean, one 6 foot tall and 230 pounds.
Absolutely. Healthy halfbacks back there in the backfield. Toss play right side, but nothing there. And I am still so surprised, Rochelle, for the most part of this second half. It's been run-oriented with Charleston, not many downfield strikes.
And their running game really hasn't been that successful.
And Kopech, again in, I believe this is his 3rd straight snap. And he throws off target, incomplete. Intended for Doug Spelling. A surprising series, if I do say so myself, by the Predators.
Yes, and then they're forced to punt here, and I think Fort Worth was able to put some pretty decent field position out of it, too.
And Eric Blueberry, who we've seen very little of until we got to the 3rd quarter, has now been on the field more often than not in this second half. But he gets a good punt off. But that's going to be good field position here as McGee fields this one and will start right at midfield for the Fort Worth Toros. And ladies and gentlemen, I just feel like we are gearing up for a heck of a finish here.
This is kind of like deja vu of the first half where Charleston had this great field position. Now we're seeing it on the Fort Worth side.
Certainly looks that way, like the tables have turned. Have a glance there at our first downs gained the second half. 7 for Fort Worth, 3 for Charleston. That's really a big tell. J.Z. Bacon out of the backfield, shot out of a cannon, a gain of 7 on first down.
He's looking stronger and stronger as the game goes on.
He really is. And again, credit to this Fort Worth offensive line that has continued to fight, continued to battle, and now are beginning to win the battle in the trenches. 2nd and 3, Dunhill going to take it himself. Not a wise decision. He gets brought down behind the line of scrimmage, number 94 in on the stop, and that is Forrest Dalton.
Not really sure what that play was.
Honestly, I don't know either if that was like a miscommunication, a botched play, and he just had to take it. But that is Dalton's his fourth sack of the season. Excuse me. Dunhill to throw the pass, complete, on target for Cade Stevens, and this drive will continue as we are approaching the 5-minute mark.
Definitely a great play. I think you're in field goal range just about here.
And that kind of answers the question that I had on that previous series. And as you said, right about the 32-yard line there. So now, 1st and 10 for Fort Worth. Moving the ball effectively to this point. Pressure coming. No, they kind of back off a little bit here. They go with that
breaking tackle.
Screenplay. Again, that's McGee just breaking tackles. As you said, a 5-yard gain. He would not be denied, would not be taken down in the backfield.
And once again, he's in the backfield to screen pass.
And once again, Charleston having difficulty picking it up. Inside of 5 minutes left in this regulation. Hacker in motion. They pick it up at the bottom of the screen. A handoff to Aaron Alexander, the fullback, who doesn't get much. And we've got an important 3rd and 6 coming up. Most important play of the game thus far.
Yeah, if you're done, be safe. You know, make a smart pass. If not, you're in field goal range. You can tie this game up.
3rd and 6 coming up. Would Fort Worth be able to convert? Dunhill throwing to the sideline. Oh, and Stevens able to bring it in, but he's out of bounds. But Fort Worth throwing the red handkerchief, and that's going to give us a Retroid challenge. So we will take a retroactive look at this play. Get your console to play SFL on the go at GoRetroid.com. Let's go under the hood, Rochelle. Throw.
I don't know. I can't see his feet.
That is. Looks like it's going to be close. Did he have possession?
Wow.
And there you hear it. The ruling on the field is overturned. It is a catch. And let's just call that the Nice Ants catch of the day, brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K 23. So excited about this game, I tell you, Rochelle. This is seeing a little bit of everything. That was a beautiful reception along the sidelines there. Dunhill to throw out of the backfield again for McGee. And even though Charleston able to kind of stand in there with them, they still got good positive yards. 2nd and 3 coming up.
McGee's doing a great job of breaking tackles tonight.
Oh, he sure is. And he has been worked to death. Let's just say that. We'll take a look at his updated stats here in just a moment. 15 targets for McGee. Bacon with the carry. 1st and goal, Fort Worth, just a few yards away from taking the lead for the first time late in this ball game.
After seeing that run by Bacon, I think I give it right back to him.
You read my mind. That's exactly what my thought would have been. If I am, coaching for this Fort Worth team and you see the lanes that Bacon is getting here, why go away from it? Folks, we're down to 3:28 and counting in regulation. Stevens in motion. And they pass quick to the end zone. Ooh, dangerous play. I'm not sure what happened there. What I do know is Jack Brown coming up with the deflection and almost the interception.
Like I said, why are you going to the passing game? Bacon's in the backfield. Just give it to him. Or even Alexander at this point.
Just line it up and run it down the middle. Clock stopped with 3:11. It's 2nd and goal. Charleston looking for the biggest goal line stand of their lives and walking in. Marcus Dunhill for the touchdown and the lead. Late in this one, Fort Worth goes up.
That was the last thing I was expecting from Dunhill from the 3-yard line, but hey, it worked.
We've seen him toy with that play a couple of times, even going for a loss just a couple of minutes ago, but instead, that quarterback keeper to the right side, like a book, reading it like a book, was that entire offense doing a great job hitting all of their marks, opening the lanes for Dunhill. They did their homework on that one. Fort Worth takes the lead.
And there was a great block by Stephen Hacker to allow that huge lane in the middle.
Incredible. The snap and the hold, it's good. And so is the kick by Amelia Rose. She tacks it on. 4-point lead for Fort Worth. Did we think that we would see that a couple of quarters ago? We were beginning to wonder.
And now it's a 4-point game. So if you're Charleston, you have to score a touchdown here.
Good point indeed, Rochelle, as this kick sails out of the end zone. This has been an unreal game. Charleston came out early in this game, 17 quick points. It looked as if this was going to be a blowout, a lights-out contest. Charleston, they have not beat Fort Worth since this team's first meeting back in season 15. The other 4 meetings, Fort Worth has won. Fort
Worth did a great job of burning the clock. They burned almost 3 minutes and 40 seconds off the clock on that drive.
Lakeman to throw, the pass complete to Solomon, who gets the first down, who, again, that's another guy we haven't heard as much of this second half. They're going to be looking his way in the next couple of minutes.
No, because in the second half, Charleston went run heavy. Instead of going to what was working for them was a passing game.
A very conservative feel, no doubt. But now they got to get back on the attack. On the offensive, it's 1st and 10 for Charleston. 2:46 and counting in this fourth quarter. Late handoff from Lakeman to his fullback, Brad Taylor Wright. 5-yard gain. Clock continuing to run.
Second and 5. I mean, do you go back to the run game here? Do you keep eating the clock? Not to give Fort Worth the ball back?
There's your answer. Back to the ground game, but reading that one perfectly was Dexter Jackson. He's been doing that all night, and for a loss, it's 3rd and 6.
Now we have Kopak back in.
Kopak to throw over the middle. The pass is complete to Solomon, but coming up a yard short, there's Jackson again with a huge one-on-one tackle. And that brings us to the 2-minute warning. And folks, you're not going to find drama like this anywhere else. On the silver screen, on the television, radio, you name it. You're in the right place. The SFL on YouTube. 2 minutes left in this wild card matchup.
4th and 1.
4th and 1, as you said, Rochelle. Big play here for Charleston. Rolling out. They try the quarterback keeper. Still on his feet is Kopak, and he is